Hello students, welcome to my channel VK Boys. Last time we discussed about forced vibration. Now today we will discuss about the special case of forced vibration, and that is known as resonance. When the frequency of the external periodic force match with the natural frequency of the body, then the body vibrate with higher and higher amplitude, and this phenomenon is known as resonance. So the condition for resonance is the frequency of the external periodic force should match with the natural frequency of the body. Now let us demonstrate this with the example of some experiments. Now experiment number 1, take two tuning fork A and tuning fork B. Suppose the frequency of both the tuning fork is same. And if I just strike this tuning fork against the rubber pad and put it on the sound box, then you will see that the tuning fork V will also start vibrating with higher and higher amplitude. Why? Because the frequency of A match with the natural frequency of the B. Since the frequency of A and B are same, hence the B also vibrate with higher and higher amplitude due to resonance. Similarly, next experiment is if you are having four pendulums, suppose A, B, C and D are four pendulum and they are hanged with the help of a rubber string. And you can see from the diagram the length of A and C is same, B is less and D is little bit more than that of B. Then if I just oscillate pendulum A, you will see that pendulum B, C and D will also start oscillating with A. But the amplitude of B and D will be less, while the amplitude of C will be higher and higher. The C will move with higher and higher amplitude. Why? Because you can see the length of pendulum A and C is the same, and you know that frequency depend upon the length. Since the length are same, hence the frequency of A match with the frequency of C, natural frequency of C. Therefore C also oscillate with higher and higher amplitude due to resonance. One more thing, the frequency of C and A are in phase, that means their frequencies are same. So one more, just two things you just note down. First is amplitude of C will go on increasing, higher and higher amplitude, and at the same time amplitude of A will go on decreasing. When C is increasing, A will decrease. When A is decreasing, C will increase. So this way, once C will be increasing, amplitude of C will be increasing, then A will be increasing. In this way the process will go on, and the frequency of A and C will also be in phase. So this is other experiment. Next experiment is if we are having a resonance apparatus. And what is the resonance apparatus? In resonance apparatus you are having a tube like this, which is connected with another container like this, and the water is filled inside. This container can be moved up and down, due to which the water level in the tube, suppose the name of this tube is C, the water level in the tube C can be increased or decreased. And when you are increasing or decreasing the water level in the tube C, in that case what will happen? The air coulomb may increase or decrease depending upon the water level. If the water level goes down, the air coulomb will increase. If the water level comes up, the air coulomb will go on decreasing. So if I take a tuning fork, vibrating tuning fork over here, then you will see if I move this reservoir, suppose B reservoir, up and down at certain fixed position, at certain fixed height, there will be a louder sound generated in tube C. Why? Because at a particular length of air coulomb, the natural frequency of air coulomb match with the natural frequency of the tuning fork, hence the resonance takes place and we hear a louder sound. So louder sound is there due to resonance. Yes, one more thing. The louder sound will appear after the length of the air column is increased to 3 times. Why 3 times? Because in first case, in the beginning I discussed with you when I was discussing the closed organ pipe, I told you that the frequency of closed organ pipe varies in the ratio of 1:3:5. So after 3 times, when the length of the air column become 3 times, then again you are getting the resonance. So in this way the resonance takes place. Now the example of resonance. What are the various example of resonance? First example of resonance is resonant pendulums. If you are having two pendulums and they are having the same length, if you vibrate one pendulum, you will see the other pendulum will also start vibrating with higher and higher amplitude. This is example number 1. Example number 2 is when the troops are marching on a bridge, they are ordered to break their march. Why it is so? Because if the frequency of their marching match with the natural frequency of the bridge, in that case the bridge will also start oscillating with higher and higher amplitude, and ultimately what will happen? The bridge may collapse. Second is the string instruments are there. They are provided with a sound box. They are having a hollow box, and the hollow box is so designed that the air column has the natural frequency which is equal to the frequency of the string attached with the instrument. Hence the resonance takes place. Similarly, there is a resonance in case of your TV, your radio system also, to match the natural frequency of the signal which is coming, and this is done with the help of certain component like condenser is there and like inductor is there, that you will understand in the higher classes. They are so adjusted that they match with the particular frequency which you just want to catch the TV channel, whatever TV channel or whatever radio channel you just want to receive. The receiver match the frequency with that with the help of condenser, and the capacitor is and the inductor is there. With the help of that is also done. So these are few examples. Next thing which I am going to discuss with you is the characteristics of sound. What are the characteristics of sound? How one sound can be differentiated with the other sound? The 3 characteristics of the sounds are there. First characteristics is loudness. Second characteristics is pitch, and last characteristics is quality. So one by one I will discuss with you. First of all, what is loudness? Loudness is that characteristics of the sound which differentiate the louder sound from the faint sound having the same pitch and same quality. It differentiates between the loud sound and the faint sound. And how you can see the waveform of this? The waveform of this can be seen with the help of an instrument, and that instrument is known as CRO. That means cathode ray oscilloscope. If you are having a tuning fork and if you strike it softly with the rubber band, and if you place it in front of the oscilloscope, in that case the pattern will be like this. The pattern will be like this. And if you strike it hardly, then you will see the pattern will be like this. You can see the amplitude over here is less, amplitude over here is more. So the loudness of the second case is more and loudness of first case is less. Hence you can say the loudness depend upon the amplitude. So next thing is intensity of sound. What is intensity of sound? Intensity of sound is the energy which is transferred per unit area per second. That is known as intensity. Now intensity depends upon certain factors, and the minimum intensity for the audible sound is 10 raised to power minus 12 Weber per meter square. that is there. And the factors upon which the intensity of the sound depend is, first factor is amplitude itself, second factor is the frequency, third factor is the density. So these are few factor on which intensity depends. Now next is the intensity of sound is a objective property and the loudness of sound is a subjective property. You know, if the sound is of same nature of sound is there, and one person hear the sound, he say your sound is fainter, and some person can say the sound is louder. It depends upon the sensitivity of the eardrum of a particular person. So the loudness varies from person to person while the intensity remains the same. Hence loudness is a subjective property and intensity is an objective property. Now what are the various factors upon which the loudness depend? First factor I have already discussed with you. Loudness is directly proportional to the square of the amplitude. Second factor is loudness depend upon the surface area. More is the surface area, more energy will be transferred and hence louder will be the sound. Next thing is loudness is directly proportional to the distance of the source from the listener. More is the distance, less will be the loudness. Less is the distance, more will be the loudness. And next and last is the density of the medium. So these are the factor upon which the loudness depend. What are the factor? Factor number 1, amplitude directly proportional to the square of the amplitude. Surface area, more is the surface area. And next is loudness. Loudness is directly proportional to the distance and also density. So these are the factor upon which the loudness depend. Next characteristics of sound is the pitch of the sound. What is pitch? Pitch is a characteristics of sound which differentiate between the shrill sound and a flat sound. Shrill sound and a flat sound having the same loudness and same quality. That characteristic is known as pitch. Now the pitch depend upon the frequency of the sound. It will tell you whether the sound is a shrill one or whether the sound is a flat sound. So these are there. Now it depend upon frequency of the sound. So frequency and one more again. So frequency and the pitch. Pitch is a subjective property and frequency is an objective property again, because you know frequency will remain the same. So that is there. Now next thing which I am going to discuss with you is the quality of the sound. What is quality of the sound? Quality of the sound is the waveform of the sound, which if you are having two sounds and they are having the same loudness, the same pitch, again you can differentiate them with the help of their waveform. For example, if you are having a tuning fork and if you vibrate this tuning fork in front of the oscilloscope, in that case you will be having, suppose the tuning fork is having frequency 512 hertz and you oscillate it in front of the CRO. In that case you will be having the frequency like this, like this. Again, if you vibrate the piano, you just press the keys of the piano and the frequency of the piano is suppose again 112. In that case you will also get the same graph, but the graph will be like this. Here you will be having the same amplitude over here, amplitude will be same, but you can see here the graph is somewhat different. Why the graph is different? Because in case of piano you are having different subsidiary and the net waveform which you are getting is due to the superimposition of all these waves and their subsidiaries, and due to which the wave pattern is different, the quality of sound is different. In case of tuning fork you can say you can have a sine wave, but here you are having the wave like this. Therefore the frequency is same in both the cases, but the wave form is different, hence the quality of the sound is different in the two case. In this way, the frequency is same, but you can differentiate that this sound is coming from the tuning fork and this sound is coming from the piano only with the help of their with the help of their waveform only. So student, today I have discussed with you so many important concept. I hope you have understood all these things. Again I will say, so much humidity is over here, I cannot continue further, so I will just stop over here. Hope you will be benefited. If you like this, just subscribe, share and comment on my channel. Thank you for watching VK Voice.